Hey guys, I'm going to talk about why I don't do if it fits your macros and why I'm not really into intermittent fasting too. But before I do, I just want to say I'm sitting here just drinking some coffee. I already recommended that you drink green tea if you're in a cutting diet. All right, first of all, it's not a really bad diuretic like coffee is. It's also, I like drinking just plain green tea as opposed to other kinds of tea, and it's got lots of antioxidants. It's just a really healthy thing to drink. I know people say that certain types of coffee might also have antioxidants and health benefits, but one thing certain about coffee is it does dehydrate you. It is a diuretic. And as a matter of fact, I used to live in Europe, and I know that there are certain places like Croatia, I think, maybe certain places in France and in Italy. When you order a cup of coffee in a cafe, they'll actually bring you a tray with the coffee and also with a glass of water. Like you're supposed to drink a glass of water for every cup of coffee you drink because they know it dehydrates you. So, be careful how much coffee you drink. It's, you have to drink more water. Okay, you have to drink at least a cup of water for every cup of coffee that you drink. And another thing is, that's really hard is a lot of people don't like drinking, coffee plain. Like this is just pure black coffee. The only reason I'm really drinking this right now is actually because my girlfriend cooked some coffee this morning, and I didn't have to bother making tea. So that's the reason why. It's just for one cup. I'll grab a cup of coffee and drink it black. But like I said, another thing about it is. If you obviously can't put sugar, you can't put all kinds of creamer in. If you're on a high fat diet, you could probably put some half and half or some heavy cream in it. But other than that though, if you're watching your fat, watching your sugar, you're gonna have to drink it black. So like I said, I recommend against it. Obviously, I do drink a cup of black coffee every once in a while. So it's okay if you want to, but make sure you drink some more water and don't overdo it on the coffee, and make sure you drink it black. Okay, forget about the coffee. Other than that, I wanted to talk about if it fits your macros and intermittent fasting. Because yesterday I uploaded phase 1, week 1, whatever, full day of eating on the diet I'm on right now, okay, the cutting diet I'm on right now. And I know a lot of people are talking, like my family, my friends, anybody who knows me, they're like, man, I can't believe we eat the same thing every day. And that's from people who don't know about dieting. They're like, I'm not going to go on a diet because of that. And people who do know about dieting, who do know about fitness, they're like, well, why don't you just do if it fits your macros? For those who don't know, if it fits your macros means basically, as long as you hit a certain amount of whatever macronutrients, carbs, protein, fat, whatever you decide you need, and you have a calorie deficit, that means you're burning more calories than you're consuming, it doesn't matter what you eat, okay, above these minimum levels for each macronutrient to get your total calories. So the idea is, let's say I eat some really pure protein, so I covered my protein, allowances. Now I have another 800 calories, a day or whatever. It's just, whatever number of calories above, now that I've hit my protein, to go ahead and eat, just to get to my calories. So I could eat brown rice, white rice, apples, bananas, Pop-Tarts, gummy bears, whatever, okay? And, the idea is, a lot of people say, if you do that, you don't need a cheat day because you get to cheat a little bit every day instead of extreme cheating once a week. A lot of people say it's good for people who can't, stick to a diet. I have a couple problems with that, if it works for you, fine, okay? But I have a couple problems. First of all, to do that, you have to keep a running total of your calories, because you have to be I need to eat a certain amount. Basically, I see it as an excuse to eat carbohydrates, sugar, you have to basically keep a running count, I've eaten so many grams of protein, minimum protein, I've eaten so many grams of fat, minimum fat, okay? Then, hey, the rest of the calories, I have so many, I've eaten so many calories today, I've hit my minimum protein, minimum fat, so I can eat as many carbohydrates as I can to fill up the space of calories that I have left, Let's say you're cutting on 1,800 calories a day and you're on, like I said, 1,000 calories right now. I could eat 800 calories and it doesn't matter where it comes from, okay? My problem with that is basically, you know, I am a very extreme person, okay? I talked to a guy, you know, let's say 20 years ago, I mean, I'm 40, right? So like 20, 25 years ago, who was an alcoholic, and this was like, you know, a long time ago, and he's like, you know, he went to Alcoholics Anonymous. You can't drink shit, okay? Not a goddamn thing. You're an alcoholic that shit's over. You're either a drunk or you're not drinking shit. You know, there's no thing in the middle, right? And, you know, he said, like, yeah, before he went to Alcoholics Anonymous, people were like, hey, you know, just have one drink and make sure it lasts all dinner, you know, or just do this or that. And he's like, he couldn't do it. He couldn't just sit there and drink one glass of beer with dinner or one glass of wine with dinner. He couldn't do it, you know? And basically he had to be like, listen, this shit's over. I'm done. I'm not drinking at all anymore. I could drink one beer, okay? I could drink one glass of wine, but what I cannot do is have one fucking potato chip, okay? I can't be like, oh, well, I've got so many calories left. Let me eat half of a fucking Pop-Tart. I can't do that, okay? I recently tried when I was on the steak and eggs diet. That means basically either 6 days of high fat and high protein, and the 7th day of the week you have a carb up day, basically a cheat day, or you go like 3 or 4 days high fat, high protein, and you have one high carbohydrate meal. And I decided to be a responsible person, and I was like, listen, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, have like, I think I got a little container of potatoes, like mashed potatoes that you put in the microwave. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat these, put some butter on it, whatever, and then, you know, it'll be my one meal, and then I'll be happy. I wasn't even really hungry for carbohydrates, you know, because I'm used to going a whole week with no carbohydrates before cheating. So after a few days, I was like, well, I wasn't even hungry for carbohydrates. But after I ate those potatoes, I was like, it was kind of late at night, so I'm like, well, you know, that wasn't that many, you know, carbohydrates. I might as well go ahead and have some popcorn while I'm going ahead and, you know, just watching some TV. So I grabbed some popcorn, which is not that bad. I mean, it's not unhealthy, really. Heavy in, you know, sodium, maybe. And then after that, I made some more popcorn. And then after that, I was like, fuck it. This is not, you know, a carbohydrate meal, because I had my meal, then I had another meal, then I had another serving of popcorn, you know, so I'm like, okay, great. So I'm you know, ass deep in carbohydrates right now. Let me just make this my cheat day. And then after that, I actually got up, got dressed, got in the car, drove to Walmart, had this insane, like, you know, cheat day. Oh my God, what should I buy? I mean, I have to buy both of them, and oh my God, I need some of these, and I don't even like that, but I'm gonna eat it because it's carbohydrates. I was like eating, I was like barely making it through the checkout because I wanted to start eating more. Got in the car, I'm eating on the way back, and just ate my ass off, okay? I'm like a fucking alcoholic when it comes to carbohydrates. And, you know, like I said, I can't do that. I can't be like, I could be like, hey, you know, I'm not going to cheat on my diet. I'm going to eat just chicken breasts or, you know, tuna fish or whatever, and I'm not going to eat fucking anything cheat food until the cut's over. And then once a week, I'm going to have like, hey, a day where I'm going to go ahead and just destroy my body, you know? But that's just the way I am, you know? I can discipline myself very hard to eat what what the paper that I wrote my, you know, meals down on says I have to eat. Nothing more, nothing less. And then I could cut loose and tear through carbohydrates, you know, like fucking some kind of ninja warrior, okay? I don't know anything in between, and I don't want to know anything in between. I'm happy like this, okay? So like I said, if you would rather eat, you know, one Pop-Tart a day or have one little scoop of ice cream a day or whatever, and then you don't have to cheat because you satisfy your sweet tooth, fine. If it works for your personality, fine. I am addicted to fucking carbohydrates, okay? And the only way I know to do it is to either strictly diet and then have a cheat day, or, you know, either strictly diet or have a cheat day. You know, I don't know anything in between. You know, that's also a reason why I get fat if I'm not on a diet. If I'm on a diet, I'm fine. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna eat this, this, and this, cheat day, eat this, 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 cheat day. But if I'm like, well, I'm just gonna eat like a normal person, I don't know how to eat like a normal person. You know, I'll eat dinner with you, and then I'll go ahead and have some, sitting a snack on, then I'll make some ramen noodles, and I'll make some more ramen noodles, and I'll make some ramen noodles and throw cheese in it, because that's what we used to do when we were in the Army, and and it tasted good back then. So hey, so like I said, that's the reason why I'm not into if it fits your macros. If it works for you, fine. It doesn't work for my personality. And as a matter of fact, like this week, for instance, I'm eating the same thing, all day. I'm cutting down my fat more than I usually do. And, just after a few days, I'm actually feeling like, I don't know if you can see the difference, but I feel the difference just after a few days of going like high protein, low carbs, low fat, okay? So like I said, I'd rather do this, okay, and get the cut over with, and then slowly raise up my fats, and slowly raise up the calories in my diet, then do some like, half a fucking Oreo a day and, mixture of this and that, because I know what my body responds to, right? And it's the same thing with intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is another idea. People talk about health benefits or whatever, and it changes your, your growth hormone because you fast and da-da-da-da-da. Cavemen only ate once a day, da-da-da-da-da, whatever. Fine. What everybody basically agrees upon, though, is the idea is, once again, let's say 1,800 calories, okay? You have 1,800 calories a day to have a deficit. If you don't eat shit all day, okay, now you have a few hours where you can eat. You can eat like 1,000 grams to cover, or 1,000 calories to cover your macronutrients. Okay, now I finally got up to the level of fat I need, the level of protein I need or whatever with the first 1,000 calories. Now you have to remain in a calorie deficit. You still have 800 calories left. Well, you could eat fucking ho-hos and Twinkies until you cover the other 800 calories. Instead of eating just a little bit bird-like, all day like I do, you can eat just one massive meal. But you still have to stay in a calorie deficit. And the thing is, I did not do this intentionally, but I did this a couple days, and maybe I just didn't give it enough time. Maybe you need to get used to intermittent fasting. But the thing is, like, recently, for instance, I went I was like a few days, or a few hours rather, in the day where I didn't eat. So I'm like, all right, screw this. I'm gonna go ahead and just, I'm not gonna eat now, so I'll just eat later. And I went with my girlfriend to, like an IHOP or a Denny's or whatever, and I grabbed like an omelet, which is good. I mean, I was on a high fat, high protein, low carb diet, so yeah, grab an omelet, whatever, and a few strips of bacon. I ended up eating like fucking 2 massive omelets. The bacon, I had like 2 or 3 side orders of 4 strips of bacon, not turkey bacon, but like bacon. My girlfriend, I was like, hey, how many calories? It wasn't in the menu, so she looked it up in like MyFitnessPal or some shit like this. I had eaten like fucking close to 3,000 calories, okay? So the idea of eating just one big meal, I mean, if I don't eat all day, I'm gonna be fucking starving at night, okay? That's just the way shit is. I'd much rather do like the Vince Guarana steak and eggs diet, where in the morning, at some point I eat, a big high fat, high protein meal, and then I eat another one at night. That's more like me. Like in the morning when I'm starting to get hungry, I just eat a massive meal, and then at the end, I eat another massive meal. That's not the diet I'm on right now. That's another diet. But the idea is I can do that. But just, like I said, the idea of eating nothing all day and then eating a meal at night, I would go way the fuck overboard. Because I'm just hungry and I'm like, I'm gonna eat everything that I could fucking find, okay? So I can't stay within this macronutrient or this calorie deficit level of like so many calories. I can't do it. It's just not me. And it's the same thing, like I said, with if it fits your macros. I can't be like, oh, well, I have another 300 calories today. Why don't I eat 1 fucking spoonful of ice cream? I can't do that shit, So that's just me. If you have that discipline, or if you like to do that, I'd much rather be like, I'm fucking serious. I'm at work here right now. I'm working my ass off, dieting, When the cheat day comes, all right, fuck everybody. I'm gonna go to the goddamn, whatever, Walmart or whatever store. I'm gonna go to whatever restaurant. I'm gonna grab a triple, flipple, floppy latte from Starbucks and drink that too. And fuck calories, and fuck fat, and fuck carbohydrates, and fuck you. And that's what I'm gonna do, okay? Because that's my personality. It works for me, okay? I'm sure it works for some people that have a similar attitude or a similar mindset to me, And you know, if whatever intermittent fasting, if it fits your macros, is good for you, fine, use it. If not, you go ahead and try, you know, some of what I'm doing. Just keep watching these videos and you'll see the way that I do a cut and the way that I do a diet.